So as of today, I'm officially back in the Yugi tubing business. So hooray! Um, no need to really jump for joy too much here. Just gonna go ahead and let you know, guys, know what I did at my latest locals, which was yesterday. I took Shaddolls, obviously, with running. Where are you? Where are you? Where the fuck are you? Yeah, Star Seraphs. So yeah, I took Sheriff. Okay, so we'll call them Sheriffs now. Why not? But yeah, took the Seraph dolls to locals yesterday. Finished up fourth place, going 4-1 Swiss. And then losing to BA in the top four playoff. It was rather unfortunate. It was literally just a bit of case of just luck running out because I bricked both those games. I was actually pretty content with this. I'm just gonna go through my matchups here. Round one, I played against, I think, what was it? Something. I 2-0'd it. Yeah, 2-0'd it. Then round two, I played against Clifford's. They were side decking Recover, which with that that allowed them to go into Nat Beast, and so as a result they got Nat Beast out in game two. I also bricked a bit on in that matchup as well, so I ended up losing that one 2-0. Round three I played at Satellas. I was actually quite happy with the 2-0 win there. I basically just flooded his board with nothing but stuff on game one. Game two was a bit more grindy, but I managed to secure it and stop him from going for the diamond play. Danko really helped me out quite a lot. The first one got warning, but then I top decked the second one to get over a Venus chain. So that was actually pretty good. Round four, honestly can't remember what the round four matchup was like. Actually, no, the Satellas were round four. My mistake. Round three was another casual deck that I won 2-0 against, and then I 2-0'd Satellas. So that's my mistake. Round five I played against Yang Xing. I took out the first game. The second game went into time. The only damage that actually was no damage was handed out before the 5 turns ended. So that game ended in a draw. But with my pre-existing victory in game one, I ended up taking that match and getting the top 8. I got another Satella deck, a different one for the top 8 matchup. I got diamonded twice after he went Triver and actually hit Falco twice, which was kind of hilarious. In both cases, I managed to consolidate and take out the win. The second case, I actually had to fight up really, really hard because I got dealt believe it was a 4 material Rongo. No, actually, no, he did go 5 material Rongo, and I managed to get past that, just managed to hold out long enough using just my set creatures and stuff like that. So I was quite happy. This thing put in a lot of work for me today, as it should, but, it is what it is. So I took that out, and then against BA, I got 2-0'd by just bricks. So it was pretty shitty. So I was quite content with my wins. My only losses were really just to bricks. That's about it. The Nat Beast against Clifford's didn't quite help either, so it was an unfortunate sort of thing. So now that we have done with that, we can now go on to the actual list. I'm going to do videos like these from now on. I'm not going to do just standalone tournament report stuff because it makes me feel like it feels a bit more like a chore. That's what made me sort of almost get rid of it. Yu-Gi tubing in general before my resurgence, I suppose. Let's bring this mat up here just a little bit. I'm also testing out a new recording setup, which I should actually show off now. So I've got that as my only source of light. And then there's this ghetto barn bullshit. Yeah, I'm using my phone. I honestly have no idea how much space is on this. So this could well shit itself before I'm able to actually finish listing off the deck, which would piss me off because I've had a few little hiccups in trying to record with these things, because apparently this phone does not like reading the SD card that I have, probably because of its brand or something like that. But with that out of the way, onward to the actual deck. Playing 3 Falco. Falco's brilliant. Very good in the grind game, especially. Helps you get over deck rolls, because if you have more resources than them, you will eventually get over them and be able to stop them. Very good with its recyclability, because one of my big issues was going through my resources too fast. So the 3 Falco really helped in that regard. 2 copies of Beast. Beast was actually pretty good. Part of me was wondering what it would have been like to have 3, but to be perfectly honest, 2 is really more than enough. My hand is actually kind of messing with the lining here, so that's a bit of a thing. 2 Squamata. I was at 3. I decided to cut it 2, I think, night before the locals or something like that. I might have been testing it at 2 for a little bit before that, but I decided to go with the 2 Squamata. I was actually quite content. Wouldn't mind having a third one in there, but there's kind of just room constraints, so it's still working on that one just a bit. I decided to go with the 2 Hedgehog. Generally, one's just the best option, but I actually quite like 2. I use 2 quite a lot. It makes the second one makes for an easy side out, because I'm only running the 1 dragon side decking another, so I basically would just swap out a Hedgehog for the second dragon if I needed to clear out floodgates and stuff like that. So if I was going up against Queefs, which I did, yes, I called them Queefs. Cringe if you want to, but that's what I do. I hate the deck now with an absolute passion. They need to die. So yeah, got the second dragon. Pretty good 1900 beat stick as well. I think I did use it to try to get over some stuff at some point in the tournament. 3 Mathematician, pretty standard. Not running Pero. I found myself really not using Pero that often, so I just stuck with the 3 Mathematician. I actually found myself signing one out on occasion, because as good a card as this is, because you're obviously running the stick chair stuff. That, God, the glare on that was ridiculous. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to point out here. Yeah, triple Mathematician. Very, very useful. Good first turn play if you don't have a stick chair. If you have a stick chair, then it really just depends on if you've got anything you want to actually just blow the shit out of. Then the standard Seraph engine, 3 each of the stick and chair. Played these a fair few times. I actually did so much more shit with this in test games. Like, for example, I went stick chair, managed to end up with a field of all 3 of my chairs plus 2 sticks, just because I was able to draw stuff off of the chairs. I think actually in one of the test hands I actually did open with one stick, 2 chair, and then just pulled the second, and then just got the 3 chairs out, drew into a second stick, and it just went pretty much nuts from there. Very, very good combo. I'd like to be able to use it in more stuff. I'd like to be able to use it in Star Seraph Satellas, just for some fun, but for some reason I keep opting to go for other decks during the Thursday fun locals, so it's a bit of a thing. Like for this Thursday, even though it's not really considered fun, it's more like meta, I'm probably going to freaking roll Necrolls. So double Archlord Christia, this thing's brilliant. I did find myself breaking a little bit with this though, so I'm probably going to cut it down to 1, possibly side the second one. But still, like that's something that's worth debating on at the moment. Archlord Christia has in fact proven its worth in this deck quite a number of times. In an earlier tournament I played this in, I managed to beat Satellas in time by just going into this. I had he had pretty much every out to Shaddoll stuff. Like he had floodgates up the rear, so I basically just swung for 5k and just tributed the 2 monsters I had for this, and basically just sat on that, and he had absolutely nothing to it. He's also good Call the Haunted fodder. He essentially makes Call the Haunted into a Vanity's Emptiness in and of itself, so it's really nice. 2 Valor, very, very useful against the Talonite, so I was quite happy with its performance. Only time I ever sided this out was against Clifforts, because it does absolutely fuck all against Clifforts. And then the BLS, which just made some insane stuff. Like I top decked this a couple of times off stick chair play and basically just wrecked. And for spells, I'm going for the full 6 spells in the form of 3 of each of the Shaddoll Fusions. Well, obviously not running Nef Shaddoll Fusion, because I didn't really like how Nef Shaddoll Fusion worked out. It kind of just sucked. I just decided to stick with these 3 because this just it's far easier to side this out against matches that's not going to use much extra deck. So, for example, like Necrolls or anything like that. Next to nobody plays Necrolls at my locals, though. It's just really not that popular. So on occasions I do find myself siding one of these out. On some occasions, though, I do actually keep them in. Like, I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember whether or not I sided one out against Yangzing. Theoretically, this at 3 would be a good idea if they go first turn Yazi, because the only really way to get over it is by using Construct. But I think I did side one out or something like that. So still working on that one, but it's still a pretty easy side out to go with. I was quite happy with how that turned out. Defusion, on the other hand, the single copy really wasn't that great. I didn't really see it that often. I'd actually see it a lot more often when I was running 2. That was with the double Shaddoll Christian. That in itself actually made this as well a Vanity's Emptiness just easier to get construct off the board as well. So I was actually quite content with it. Because especially in the mirror match, if you have the defusion, as soon as they drop the Shaddoll fusion, you just flip the defusion, get your fusion out of the way. And if you've used, if you got construct, if you've used Archel Christia for it, you just get the defusion just puts the Christia back on board. So even if they've got the materials in hand, they still can't use it, but it just completely fizzles. So that was the theory behind that. Didn't work out just because I didn't really draw into it enough, and I didn't go up against any mirror matches. I played one game against a mirror match, and it was really nice, really grindy. But I managed to win, but that was a test game, so it wasn't actually really thing. It was actually a pretty good game though. Then these last 3 spells, pretty freaking obvious. Book Soul Charge, right, Geki, because we need Jin lockouts, because Jin lock can get wrecked. Jin needs to be banned. Ban Jin 2015. Then 3 Call the Haunted. This is a Vanity's Emptiness in and of itself. If you bring out Archel Christia, as I stated earlier, this is also facilitating stick chair plays. So if you just have the stick, you bring out your chair, then you just flip this once the stick dies, and then you pretty much just go ham from there. This thing's really good card. I actually found myself sometimes bringing back a Shaddoll with this. Tried, in one of the earlier tournaments I went up against Ritual Beasts, I flipped the Call of Launch at least with the intention of tributing the monster I had for a beast so I could draw more. Problem is I ended up getting met with a freaking D present, which pissed me off, and it lost me that game. I ended up taking out the next 2 games though, so wasn't that big of a deal. Double mistake main decked. This does actually clash a little bit, but honestly, I feel like it hurts my opponents far more than it will ever hurt me. So it's pretty happy. Don't want to go 3 though, because I bricked with 3 once and it was horrible, and it was against the Tellarknights as well. It actually lost me the game, ironically enough. And then the one Shaddoll Call for recycling purposes. I'm actually considering throwing a second one in, because there was a couple of moments where I really wanted to drop a core but didn't have it in the deck. It was either in the hand or already on board or something like that, and I just really wanted to drop that core just to get an L fusion back to hand or something like that. Next would be the extra deck, which consists of the 3 construct. Is OCD because this is freaking Ultra. God damn it. I really want a 3rd ulti, which is just ugh, good God almighty. It's just horrible. Then there is the 2 Winder. Very good against the Tellers. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Just its chain ability with the Shaddoll Fusion to just make that and be like, okay, you've gone and used your 1 normal summon for the turn. Sorry about that, lad. 2 Shek. Never actually found myself requiring the 2nd Shek, but in test games I did actually wish I had a 2nd Shek, but I didn't. So this is still a debatable thing. It's up in the air. If I card it, I'll probably put maybe Arcanite Magician in, because I took it out for that, actually. I might actually do that reverse swap. 1 Annoyer Tillis, never summoned it. Didn't have Necros. There were no Necrons there. Actually, no, there was 1 Necros player there, but he was really bad. He was just a kid, kind of more casual as opposed to anything else, but he actually did have the money stuff, so it was actually kind of meta. We have the 1 Leo, 1 Armades. Please don't ask me why I'm not running Ascension Sky Dragon. Have you seen the price tag on that fucking thing? I am a cheap ass son of a bitch. I'm a scrub, so don't expect me to run Ascension Sky Dragon unless I'm lucky enough to top a YCS. Even then, they're probably going to announce the next prize card, and then Ascension Sky Dragon's just going to freaking hike up in price because they just stop being printed until such time as they get reprinted. Ha! You fun economy. Seriously, give us those fucking reprints. I want Giant Hand, I want Blind Memphis, those fucking awesome cards. It's just nope, not giving them to you. Assholes. Then for the Xyz, Diamond, Deltaros, Illuminite. My God, the value on this. This is a brilliant card. If you have not tried this out yet, give it a crack. It's brilliant. I actually cut a Castell for this Illuminite because I found myself going into the 3 level 4 Xyzs far more than I go into the into any of the other generic ones. Ouroboros, I believe I actually went. I think I went Ouroboros once. Yeah, I went Ouroboros against Yazi. Against the Yangtzing matchup. I went Illuminite in. I think it was definitely I got into it against test games. I'm not entirely sure if I went up against it, if I got it in any other games. I don't think I actually made Deltaros at all. Um, and of course, which by definition means I didn't go for Diamond. Didn't go for Exciton either, but Exciton I thought was just the most general purpose, just blow shit up. Although thinking about it, considering the fact that I am, well, like in this deck, generally maintaining a really good hand size, I feel like I might actually cut the Exciton completely and just put the Castell back in, because I feel like the Castell would be a little bit more useful, because like as opposed to the Exciton, which requires me to have like fuck all cards in my hand, and for the most on the in total, like, but for the most part, if I'm going to be using Seraph combos, that's just not going to happen. So side deck 3 highest. This card sucks. Cutting it. Yeah, like I only ever sided this in against Clifford's. And I did actually get it off, only for it to be sent back, which actually was because I wanted it in the grave so that I can call the Haunted back and just get over the what do you call them, the Nat Beast, because I had that dropped against me against Clifford player round 2, as I stated earlier. It's just, yeah, aside from that, it was actually quite horrible. I didn't want to go with Vanity's Fiend, though, because I already had the Christias, and Christias are actually far better because they're more powerful, plus they're special summonable through other means. Then the Triple Danko Sec are very good against that Once Italian matchup. I don't think I really saw it too much often. I didn't really side it in against a whole lot of other matchups. I might have actually seen it like maybe once or twice or something like that. Artifact Lancia, because Infernoids are picking up hugely at my locals, so this thing is pretty much a staple now. And the fact that it gets stops Trish a lot better than what Velo is capable of doing is also a nice little bonus. Side deck to single Shadow Dragon just for Flygate heavy cards, like decks like Clifford. Siding a second Defusion. This is just for Mirror Match and Heroes. I did notice that there was at least one hero player from what I know, but I think he like scrubbed out or something like that. But the Mirror Match, this is actually quite good to have. So I was quite happy with that. 2 Monarch Stormforth. This I'm actually not too sure about. If I decide to run more like single tribute monsters, or like just decide to run something like maybe Jinzo or something like that. That was one of my concept texts for this side deck. Then the Monarch Stormforth will probably stay in. My theory was that I have Monarch Stormforth. Like if I open this, Foolish Burial, which I actually cut from the deck, as well as Archel Christia. If I go second, then I would just Foolish of Falco, tribute that off with an opponent's monster, just make Christia first turn. That, like, I didn't actually get the opportunity to test it out because I like fixed up the side deck to try to fix it up a little bit more better for the locals before doing that, so it was unfortunate. Last side cards are 3 MST, not starting any traps. I might have actually been kicking myself in the pants for this. Not necessarily, like, not actually for the MSTs themselves, but not for siding any traps, because I would not have minded actually siding a couple of Mind Crush, or maybe even 3. But it is what it is. I mean, it got me top 4, so I'm quite happy with that. So that is it for my first deck list and / tournament report-ish thing since my revival, that I still wondering how it actually came about. Yeah, it's a thing, but I'm feeling a lot more happy about this now, so looks like we can expect to be back in the full swing of things at some point in the future. Also, what the hell is with the pulsating here? Come on. What's it? Okay, whatever. It's like the thing looks like it's like pulsating or something like that. That's just a funky little effect it seems to have. I don't know, but whatever. Bringing this to a close because I am at nearly 19 minutes and Lord knows how much longer I've got in terms of battery and memory. So, see you for whatever it is that I do next.